The use of illegal e-bikes driving down rider pay and account substitution, or as we know it, account renting, I feel are the two biggest things that are affecting riders on the road today. And if you agree with me on that, you might be interested to read through this article with me and leave some comments as you go along. So open up the comment section, we'll read through this article from the newspaper, and we'll see what we think of what is said. Let's get to reading through this, and as I say, please leave comments as we go. We'll react to it as we go through the article. So, the newspaper: Deliveroo and Just Eat could be forced to police riders' illegal 40-mile-an-hour e-bikes. First thing that I've noticed is they haven't included Uber Eats, but it's a bit strange. Okay. Ministers are being urged to change the law to stop delivery riders for companies like Deliveroo, Just Eat and Uber Eats, there we go, using dangerous black market e-bikes. Labour MP Fabian Hamilton is backing moves to amend workers' rights legislation to close a legal loophole, which means gig economy firms can avoid health and safety laws by classing their riders as independent contractors with the right to substitute their labour. This is pushing riders into unsafe working conditions, as some use illegal, powerful fake e-bikes to boost their pay by making more deliveries while riding dangerously, according to a report by all-party parliamentary group for cycling and walking chaired by Hamilton. There's also something to add to that. They're not only, obviously, completing more deliveries, but what they're doing is also skewing the estimates. So they're actually driving down legitimate riders as well, legitimate cyclists' pay as well. E-bikes are restricted to 15.5 miles an hour by law, but some illegal e-bikes can reach 40 miles an hour. That's no surprise to me. I see them going past me every day as I go uphill at 30 miles an hour in my nice little car. See people go past me with no helmet, wearing all black in the dark. Can barely see them doing 40 miles an hour. If they come off, I dread think what's going to happen. But there we go. The report found that most serious incidents revolving e-bikes, including fatal battery fires and road collisions, are linked to unsafe, modified or black market bikes and batteries purchased online. Now this comes back into a video I made before where I know a few people got a bit upset because they feel like I've lumped everyone in together. That was not my intention. I feel like there's two sections to this. We've got the legal e-bike person who's doing everything legally, that's on a tested bike that's been manufactured in the UK, that's ready to go, that's safe, safe for the environment, safe for everybody around, not going to cause fires. And then there's people that will modify a road bike, which is only meant for cycling, to go to like 60 miles an hour. They're dangerous to themselves and the public, and the batteries are a risk of fire. So yeah, that's just closing that topic anyway. The inquiry, the inquiry also heard evidence from unions, legal experts, riders, and emergency services that made clear that platform working conditions, particularly substitution clauses, lack a formal worker rights status, and pay-per-drop models are the driving force that can cause many riders to take dangerous risks to make ends meet. So, personally, I wouldn't like to change from being self-employed, but I do feel like we are not 100% self-employed. My personal opinion is that they need a new model, which falls between being a worker and being self-employed, because to my mind, a self-employed person has a bit more of a say in their future than what these platforms are giving us. So we should have the right to set pricing to a certain extent. So maybe if they offer us a price, we can go back and get an instantaneous response. And also the right to gain customers through the apps as well. So, for example, if you had a plumber and they did a terrible job, which some riders do, you wouldn't choose to have that plumber again. And that goes for businesses and customers. So my personal opinion is that customers should be able to somehow request the same riders again, or at least say to the companies, I do not want this rider again. And the same with the companies as well. They should be able to request riders and say I don't want that rider again because they've been rude to staff, etc., etc. I know when I worked in restaurants, I used to ban riders because that was the only way that I could get them out, because they used to come in, be rude to customers, rude to staff, and it was just a nightmare. Anyway, substitute riders. It comes after an investigation by the iPaper last year uncovering a growing black market for renting accounts on apps like Deliveroo, Uber Eats, Just Eat, with more than 100,000 people subscribing to Facebook groups where people can rent, buy or sell profiles in the last 3 years. I don't know about you, but that's no surprise to me. I feel like the platforms are saying they're doing as much as they can, but my opinion is that they could go further. Randomized checking throughout the day would be the obvious one, rather than, okay, we're going to check you first thing in the morning, which makes it very easy to predict. Maybe checks throughout the day would be more suitable. And something else that I think would be a good idea is randomized vehicle checks. But there you go. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys reckon. This means that a person actually making the food delivery may have rented a rider's app profile from another worker and so didn't have to register, which will likely have avoided strict vetting process official riders undergo. Yeah, well, obviously we all know that to sign up to be a rider, you have to go through all of the checks, which includes a DBS check. I find it quite scary, frankly, that some people are riding around with no DBS check, learning people's addresses and knowing where people live. So yeah, it's not great. Hamilton, the MP, is backing amendments to the Employment Rights Bill at the Lords to close the substitution loophole. Now, that could be good for us anyway. In app-based work, including by prohibiting gig economy firms such as food deliveries and courier firms using it unless they can demonstrate the right is real and operational. So I think what they're saying there is that they have to make physical checks of riders, not just, they need to take more responsibility. The Labour MP told the newspaper delivery companies are exploiting a loophole which doesn't require work-related health and safety regulations. Currently, the companies can claim people riding for them are not workers. That needs to change to ensure all delivery company riders are protected like everybody else. I don't know if I can see it changing so that we're classed as workers, because I know that Deliveroo fought off a case like this before. So, but I think we're heading in the right direction anyway. Reminder of safety obligations. Uber Eats maintains its pickup and arrival times for riders are realistic. I don't agree with that, okay? And that they have to complete road safety module before their account is activated. Yeah, but if they're renting their account, then doesn't apply, does it? The company also reminds riders safety obligations, including what constitutes a legal e-bike, while monitoring accounts with patterns of deliveries that suggest powerful illegal vehicle is being used to make them. I haven't seen any evidence of anybody being removed from the platforms for going too fast. I feel like they probably know it's happening, but it works in their favour, so they're going to turn a blind eye to it. That's my personal opinion. Again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you've heard somebody being deactivated for this, let me know. An Uber Eats spokeswoman said, Uber Eats offers a flexible way for thousands of couriers to earn, and we know that the vast majority are satisfied with their experience. Not quite sure who they're talking to, really. I don't know that many people that like Uber Eats to work for them, think it's a fair experience, but there we go. The safety of our customers, couriers, and the general public is our top priority. Is it though? Okay. Couriers must adhere to all applicable laws and regulations, including the Highway Code, and we work closely with a range of partners to provide ongoing safety education and access to discounted legal e-bikes and e-mopeds. I might not have seen this because I haven't got one of those accounts, so let me know if you get offered that through if you're on an e-bike and you're offered these sorts of things. A Deliveroo spokeswoman said, "We regularly issue safety guidelines, guidance to riders and work with local councils, police and fire services across the country to engage with riders on e-bike and road safety." I know they do that. However, I feel like they're doing the minimum, really. I feel like these companies, they all know if someone is delivering, like there's regular customers, right? And if there's somebody that's always delivering to them like 5 minutes faster and they say they're on an e-bike, they are probably in a car and not paying their insurance, or they're on a illegally modified e-bike or a Saron or something like that. Following the highway code and using legal roadworthy vehicle are clear conditions of a rider's service agreement with us. If a rider is found to be in breach of the law and road obligations, we will stop working with them. Again, I don't know of any instances where this has happened, where somebody's been deactivated for that reason. A government spokesperson, said, "This government is on the side of working people. So we find reports of businesses are encouraging or helping workers or contractors to use illegal or unsafe modes of transport entirely unacceptable. That's why we're taking actions through the plan to change by updating product safety laws to clarify online retailers' responsibilities and bringing forward new police powers to tackle the use of illegal vehicles." Now, the last sentence of this is hilarious because it says it all about a certain platform. Just Eat was contacted for comment. That's it. Says quite a lot about Just Eat, doesn't it? We're contacting them every day, our newspaper, and not getting anything back if we've got issues. So I'm not surprised that they didn't contact you back in a timely manner. But yes, I feel like that's a positive step forwards for anybody doing this legitimately. Let me know in the comment section what you guys reckon. Is this just hot air, or do you think things will actually change? Catch you in the next video.